And good morning. I think we're about there. Okay, let's see what else. Phone. That plugged in. Oh, and its brightness is way down. And I got a new jump rope yesterday. Awesome. It is amazing. It's just got a heavier rope on it. I find having the heavier rope actually engages more muscle, your upper torso, whatnot, and then also makes it easier to, like, it gives you that much more feedback. It's easier to do. All right, so where do we leave off? Last night I did a little bit. Does it actually run? Oh, it doesn't build, but I think I still have a binary sitting around. Show where I left off. We have that. Run the client. That's what I forgot, a little preview window. Notice that yes, the tick is going. It's actually going very, very slowly. It sets some things up, so it's actually needed. Login button. Login worked. List of sea people back, sea lords. Now if I choose one, select, it gets that far. Now, see in here is that, well, actually kind of silence there already. But it looks like, well, gotta fix a tracing element. Little noisy. I'll do that. But the load actor partly works because through the, so we went through the auth channel, we went through the character channel, right? Character creation, selection, etc. And it got bumped into Game Master queue, which does the final half of the load actor. Yeah, almost ready. A little too early. Hey, good morning, Xenocron. Good morning. So at this point here, what were those really verbose log lines? We should like get some of that. Self. Oh, interesting. Why are we listing out entity IDs? Interesting. Was that a... Okay, yeah, it wasn't this one. One outside that one. Who calls this? Load actor. Test. This one here. Message outgoing. Colon state spawner. Metric sender. Nope, not that one. Ah, here we go. Message. Connection state. There it is. Much better. Okay. Now, let's get back into the actual coding. Wow, everyone's up early today. That's the cargo watch. There we go. Where are we? We're in Game Master. So we made it past load actor in Game Master. The next thing that the client asks for is tell me about the world and say, hey, I need the zone info for this entity. Now, technically, what it's actually asking for is its own zone info. Let's take a look. What is this complaining about? Ah, connection state. Yeah, we have to take connection state. Back one, jump into it, toss it in there. That's right. So at this point, we need to get the entity the entities that this actor controls. Let's take a look at that. We have a connection ID. We don't need to check to see if they have control of the entity. We need to know which entities they have control of. So the get and I get entity location. This is entity IDs. For this connection ID. Okay. Self.store.get does not need to be mutable. Connection ID. We change that into, because this gives us an option. Let's change that into a result. Hey, you know what? I forgot to set up the browser today. Hold on a sec. Let's get that working. There we go. There we go. So in this case, we do an OK or an OK or else. That'll give us a result and we can provide the error. Does that actually take argument? OK or else? No. Okay, so function's empty. Actually, let's do that there. Return one of those. We'll bail on that. Oh man. Voice is having a slow morning today. Now that should get us what? That'll give us the entity. They call it a ref here, I think. Yeah, this here. So after that, I think that's an actual entity IDs object from up above. Then we can just ask for the entity IDs on it. Alright, I think it's going to be something like this. Expected T found enum. Oh, I see. Dot. What do we have off of entity IDs? Oh, that's right. It's like this iterator. Yeah. So we implement iterator for it. Loaned. It would be nice if this was just a slice. How can we actually implement that slice on there? That would be a neat thing to have. If we go to entity IDs is just an enum. Okay. Most of the time it will only ever have one thing in it. But in the rare case that somebody is controlling somebody else's character, like a sysadmin or something like that, then they actually control more than one element. We can get an iterator. That's fine. Maybe we just return the entity iterator. How do you return an iterator in Rust? So let's check the docs. Standard iter, whole bunch of stuff in it. Implementing, fine. Oh, lifetime issues. Yes, of course. And what does iterator want for that? Lifetime must be valid for the static lifetime. All right, can iterator take a lifetime? It must. imagine that the item probably have a lifetime. Item is going to be equal to what? This is underscore T. Going to return value referencing function parameters E, value referencing data owned by the current function. Oh, I see, yes. Return early for that. Actually, what is the type of that? So if we look at the store again, how funny, we just call it entity IDs, but we're getting a connection state. So, that wrong. Oops, wrong file. Should have set a marker. Borrowed value does not live long enough. Okay. Because it lives inside of here. We could say that this is borrowed for that lifetime. Oh, why is that expecting a semicolon? Oh, I forgot the little tick there. Oh, I see, that's actually a ref. Alright, let's simplify this. Getting the entity IDs, normally they're just going to be gating one thing. Let's optimize for that. This, going down this little rabbit hole here, is not working out. I don't mind the bailout early. Bailing out. We're going to get the entity IDs here. We'll just clone that. Return an iterator. See, now I thought entity IDs was an iterator of T. Go to that and we go to the definition of entity IDs. It is an iterator of T. Well, whatever T is here, and here it is T. I'm just set a marker. Marker A. There we go. Return type of a function must have a statically known size. I buy that. And what does it know about t at this point? T, its copy, debug, it's partially equal. And it's sized. No? It doesn't know what the host type is of the iterator, does it? Alright. So instead of that, let's do entity ID iterator of t. Oh, this is all wrong. Okay, no. We're just supposed to clone that and return it. My goodness. Entity IDs of t. Clone that, return that. It happens to be an iterator. Now it's got a size. Expected semicolon. Why? I want to return that type. Alright, and because we have a return type here, or rather we have a variable to capture that into. That's why. Alright. Let's see. And we need to do this once for each one of these. Oh, I see. It's just saying about the return type. Okay. Everything's okay if we don't bail out inside of there. Who calls this? Entity location. Hey, good morning, DBC. Let line 114. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? My computer's not set up right. I can put that chat window a little closer. See it. Thank you. What do I use for UI on Vim? Yes, Conqueror of Completion with the COC Rust Analyzer addition to it. And thank you for the follow. Moruch Andeo. Moruch Andeo. I also have my Vim files in GitHub if you're interested, if you're a Vim user. And good morning. Maruchan. Maruchan Deo. It's gonna take me a while. And if I say it wrong, let me know. I'd like to say it however you want to say it. Yeah, you're welcome. It's got some stuff that I have to install outside of that, like I think I use FCF and RG. So there's a couple little things that have to be installed from the outside, but overall it should work. Let me know if you have trouble installing it. I should actually add some documentation to that file. All right, yep, no drain in there. Yeah, riff grep. That actually powers this. We'll autocomplete here, the fuzzy find. So I think it does, to be honest. When I switched to the new COC Rust Analyzer, I don't know if that's actually true anymore. However, if I do files, it's definitely using it there. If I do search in files like foobar, oh, there we go, using it there. Right, let's toss some stars on these. Got multi-vim. Reference those. Ah, yes. And now the outgoing packets. Yeah, COC has made my work cycle so much more efficient. Just being able to jump to the definition of things with the outline of functions like this, or search through all the types in the project. If I want to go to like, there's an info, whatever it is, you just jump right to it without having to remember what file it's in, etc. I am also using NeoVim nightly, but I don't think that's required. Let me just trash that, put a question mark on that, fail in the error. Why not? Well, because sometimes it just blows up. Actually, is this code right? Absolutely just read through it. Zone info for entity. Get the entities of the connection controls. Okay, iterate over each one of those. Get entity location from the ECS. Okay. Get the island information. Instruct the packet. Set it up, send it out. I can't wait for 142 to. A couple more weeks. Oh, NeoVim Git is the first thing to do after a fresh Arch install. Oh man. Living on the edge. Hey, good morning, Carter. Good morning. Oh, that looks okay. Cargo build and dev run. See if we can play this. Well, we're not going to be able to get very far. Let's see if the island shows up. Oh, it never blew up with Nightly. Mine didn't blow up with Nightly NeoVim. It only blew up ever with COC Rust Analyzer Nightly. I think I was just taking the head of Git using that. Could have been Rust Analyzer itself. Actually, I think it was Rust Analyzer itself. I was just on the Git head of master. Let's fire this up. Log in. Log in. Captain Carter. Oh good, that still works. Select Captain Carter. Huh. Converting kind for 29. What is 29? Okay. Big select. Just a few plugins that has deprecated functions, but it still works. That's awesome. Very cool. I could probably turn off the stream multiplexer stuff, but I'm still working on that. You ever think about what to change my day job from to something like Rust? That would be years out. That would literally be years out. I still feel like a noob with Rust. I'd like to just keep getting better and better and better at Rust, and this project helps with that. I could eventually see using Rust as my day job. You know what gets me about web stuff is the inconsistent development environments. Like every company has their own like homegrown build system and way of working with their own plugins. or babble and so forth. There isn't like the way. So I'm actually surprised that client didn't blow up either. Okay, did it handle packet 29? Good luck. What is packet 29? Load actor. Should have done that. So load actor does two different things. Let's go to here. Okay, we're almost there. Run character actually has a copy of the Game Master's incoming stream. And what run character will do is for packet 29, which is kind of special, because it's actually two things. It does two things at once. It says, I want to choose to play as this character. And that's the first thing. And the second thing it does, it says, load this character into the server. So it is half in run character and half in game master. The run character, upon successfully choosing this character, then tosses it over to game master using this MPSC channel. And that MPSC channel, the GM Stream TX, is the right half of this here, the GM Stream. This is the GM Stream RX, basically. So once it's done with the packet, it just says, hey, here you go, tosses it into the stream, and Game Master should load it up. One question that I did not ask myself is, did Game Master actually do anything with it? Game Master, packet 29. And these two should be the same. Actually, I have to reconstruct the packet, but it looks like it's the same. Cool. Okay, that looks fine. Right from. Check to see if it has entity control of that. Yep, this is actually a normal thing. That's technically not an error. I should bump that down. Now we start to load the actor. This should have been Carter. Actor is reconnecting. False. Oh wow, we do have some logging in here. Okay, and that's as far as it got. All our logs here. Yeah. Let's look for reconnecting. So yeah, Carter, that being burnt out on the web stuff, that's I do stuff like this because I have to keep my mind kind of engaged. And it helps doing this stuff. I really like the people I work with. Mr. Old Design Group, though. So we saw this. The actor is reconnecting. That was the last thing we saw, wasn't it? Reconnecting false. So it would have gone into here. Maybe that's the root of the problem, that I like the people. Nah, I'm kind of invested in it. I want it to do really well. So why are we not getting any log info in here? Is it just because we're not logging anything? Looks like it. And if we follow this back up and out, if we do get an error from this, where does that get logged? Here. Okay, error reading the auth stream packet. We didn't see that. That's good. All right, let's toss some loading, or some, not toss some loading, toss some logging. Get entity location. Okay, we're getting that from the database. You know what? Let's do a TI on this. Tracing. Toss a question mark on there. Oh, that you don't like the people. Oh, that's too bad. One of the things I really look for in a job first is manager I can trust. Having an awesome manager is night and day to like your whole life. So if I have any say in the matter, I will favor someplace with a great boss, even if it has less pay. It makes all the difference in the world. Load actor. Okay, here's get entity. Got that. Oh, this is interesting. Keeping the right lock small on this. When we get the entity ID, actually have data go and do this stuff. I wonder if data should just fetch it for us and save it on the way out. This seems like a weird pattern. So we get a write lock onto data, create the entity. Interesting, we presume it's a write here because, as we asked earlier, they existed, if it was a connect or a reconnect. Generate location, set entity location, fine. Set player initial location in data. Okay, and that should be the ECS. So the ECS, the entity control system, entity component system. It's kind of a neat data structure. And I've been wondering with the new layout of the server, if I can actually have multiples of those instead of just like one gigantic one. Because right now that one ECS is controlling the entire universe, and I don't think it has to. I think I could actually break that down into having ECSs for different zones. That would reduce contention across the board. All right, now in this case, what are we doing? Load the island. Let's get rid of the spiner clone. Self the spiner, unless it's passed in. Result. We'll await on that. Finish up our metrics. Send callbacks to, oh, we're using a closure, probably because we do this multiple times. So do we need to capture anything right there? Can I move this up above? There, I'd prefer the result to be next to the match. So we have okay. Ah, good. Now we have error down here. Then callback status, fine. And we do return the error. But in this case, oops. Should we pass in a reference to the ECS instead? Oh, I see, because we're calling load island. Oh, probably not. And callback status, that should be fine. So it looks like the client should be getting the callback status packets at this point. We didn't really change anything in there other than the now or never. Let's give that a build again. Load actor reconnect. We get the zone ID. Set the player zone and connection. And send the result out. Okay, fine. I'm actually going to go to the Godot view. Now in here, we're going to look at uplink. Uplink, there's a lot of stuff in there. Oh, this is 3.2, I believe. One's 3.2. So uplink, kind of our connection upstream, right, to the server. A couple things. It's got read data, emit signal, packet, and whatnot. We can print debug that. Now what about write message? We also have a print debug in here that we can turn on. We'll do that and run the game. But let me copy this portion from the other scene. Paste that in here. Paste reference. There we go. Restart that. Now, one thing that we have to do to get the log info, we have to get out of that. Errors. I forget where it is. Oh, an output there. Okay. Clear that. Log in. All the captains. Okay. I read them in. Let's make a new one. Oh, Sika, thank you for the follow. Sika07. Okay, that worked. Clear that. Select Sika. Alright, 50. Looks like it's actually loading. These are going to be UUIDs, I think. Interesting. I wonder why that stopped there. Could be due to the fact that I have a ton of changes in the client that were from like 3 months ago. Okay, now we go to global. Global has some cool stuff in it. I think early on I was trying to change some race condition actually. So here we call this when we create an account, select an actor, etc. A player zone. I think this is something that we're actually doing right now. Then actor ready. So we have these two elements. The client, it should get the information about the world and load up all of the assets, etc. And then once it's done all of that, it says, I'm ready to play, and then puts you in the game. It just sends a sort of like thumbs up packet. All right, so where's this going to be? I'm going to remember this. Oh, they had like jump to file. Oh my goodness, I have forgotten those. Find in files. No, I want a file. Soft reload script. No. Oh well. We'll just navigate to it. So here we have scenes and scripts. Oh, good old Puppeteer. Yes, and we are using a CBOR inspired format. We basically wrote CBOR for this. And I think it mostly works. There we go. Scenes, island. No, I think that's the island itself. Look at Puppeteer for a minute. Oh, that's right. And I had tests, integration tests. That's what I was using for a lot of the CBOR stuff, I think. I think I had, yeah, CBOR encode and decode. Oh, it's been a while. We also have game state. This is kind of a global game state. So on island. So when we receive an island, it should come in and tell us about that. We get an actor. Let's hit some breakpoints. And we're not warping. We're not going between islands. Get actor. Okay. Let's see if that gets hit. Let's run again. Log in. Okay, so we're getting the actor. We're making that call. Ah, but we're not getting anything back. Why didn't we hit the other things? Is our... Okay, hold on. Go to global. Global. This should have a couple of functions that know how to connect things. Associate signals in the game. So we should be connecting Puppeteer. That should be happening. We should be connecting the game state. Just make sure those things are still working. Yep, connecting game state. Fine. Okay. Oh. Resumed function on login pressed after yield. The class instance is gone. Ah, the risks of debugging. Okay. We'll hit the same sort of assertion here. Connect Puppeteer. Get actor. There it goes. Do we just have a timing issue? All right. Who's supposed to hook up on island? Search. My files. On island. Find. On new island. We're supposed to do that. How do I hide that panel to the right? Set. Let's see. Create new Puppeteer. And this is how you connect signals in GDScript. Don't forget to assert that it actually connected. Really easy to ignore those sort of connections. And then we call get island, which just then feed that in. Oh, I see. It already has it, if island, and then we disconnect it. So this looks like it's really just wired up for a game state to eventually get this thing when game state does get the island, it's supposed to emit a new signal. It says on new island. Oh, look, you can hide that bar. That's new. That's on new island. That's its signal. So it must not be getting this. Okay. And what about on island? Shift Command F. Ooh. There it goes. Is that not wired up? Disconnect. Game state. All right, let's follow this in from the other direction. So it looks like game state on island is supposed to be receiving the island. However, collapse some of these. Protocol is supposed to signal that island is ready. Actually, let's see, receive packet 29. Oh, I hope I have those right. So when we receive that packet, it should break right there. You can inspect the data that's coming back and follow the signal. Let's try that. Oh, the server panicked. Uh-oh. Set player initial location. Player should not yet have a location. That's true, but I think my LinkedIn stuff is kind of messed up. Okay. Fix one thing at a time. Right message. Oh, assertion failed. Error code is 1. What does that mean? What is socket here? Socket. Search help. Put data. Stream pure. Returns global scope error code. Failed. Generic error. Really? Yeah. Just some error. So which data is that? Array. Okay. 17. Type 0. So it's an ID packet. Yep, send ID packet. On actor info. We're trying to get the actor information. Did the server already go away? Is that why? It looks like it. No, it didn't go dead. It was pending. Okay. Why would that error? That's an odd reason to error. It almost seems as though the connection went away. Maybe I should be checking to see, is the socket still connected? Why would it fail here, not one of these two? Hmm. That is strange. What else could we output? Socket dot is connected. What is the difference between is connected and is connected to host? Ah, I see. That's if the signal is connected. This is probably just a Boolean. Let's try again. Oh, I tossed in the browser instead of Godot. I am so sorry. Should have been in Godot there. Those buttons are so close together. We might have to fix link dead first. Is connected to host. False. It was true there. It's false here. So we actually disconnected. Why? It doesn't look like it killed it. Let's double check that. Incoming. Queuing message. Loop. Fine. Huh. And this one, this halt one, just means that it's in the reader. That's fine. It would actually say a lot more if it closed down. So I'm wondering if this is on the Godot side of the world. Continue there. Huh. See, that's funny. It actually says that it sent more data after I resumed. How in the world does that happen? Because up here, let's go back to Godot, find the Godot window, and the console output is connected to host, right? I have true, 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 false, right here in the middle. How do we toggle that? Ooh, gremlins. I wonder if that's a side effect of the error. Maybe I should do that just before trying to write. And what if we just write out socket? All right, let's move those up a little bit. Yes, maybe it has some more information it can give us. Start the server. Log in, log in. I do not see that debug line. See, oh, here it is, true. Oh, and then it just gives us the ID of the stream peer. True, true, true. Actually, it didn't assert that time. Strange. Okay, that's worth keeping an eye on. So if we step back once there, comment that out, leave the other one in. Read data, we're also going to comment this one out, so less chatter in the console. Okay. In protocol though, the protocol, I think it was protocol. We're looking for island, island 29, and we're waiting for that to come in. Save there, restart. All right, we got packet. Actually, I just want type. They give us a 2 there. 3. Well, I never got packet 3. Packet type 3. And if we scroll up, send packet, receive packet. So we got a position. I never got the other one. I'm surprised we didn't get the get actors callback. Seems like it should have been in there. Again, log in. No, nothing yet. I have 26. Okay, good. Oh, server. I forgot to restart it. I panicked. I gotta fix that linked thing. Okay, let's try again. Reconnect. Log in. All right. Now, did we get the packet? At type 26. Good. Get actors. We really want 29. A 28 would do as well. All right. Ah, we hit the error code. It said that it was. Oh, yeah, that's right. And we logged just before this. So it says that it was false already. Is this the same stream peer? This is a different stream peer TCP? Oh, how does this actually change? Why is it changing? It starts out as 1671, changes, then goes back to 1671. That must be the issue. 1671 here says that it's connected. And then somehow the next one's connected. 26, 24. We're looking at the types in here. The type 26 comes in. Fine, it stays. Actually, halfway through 26, it changed. We got two 26s? Is that the callback? Check. Oh, where is it? Protocol. 26 is get actors. We should not receive 26 twice. Okay. That's a foobar on the server. To fix that. That means that Game Master is actually acknowledging that I got a 26 when it shouldn't. No. It's the other one. Character. Character is handling load actors as well, but it should not send back an OK. Just make sure that's not doing that. Looks like all we're doing is setting the channel change. And we're sending this on to the next channel. All right, this here doesn't seem to do it. But we did receive a 26 twice. I wonder, did we ask for 26 twice? We should be able to tell if we sent a 26 twice. This should show up like this. So here, character packet kind, blah, blah, blah. 26. Get actors. So here's 25, which is login. $26. Then we go straight to 29. That's weird though. Why do we have 29 twice? All right, what is 29 on the client? 29's island. No, 29 here is select actor. Am I looking at the wrong ones? Oh, this is the outgoing messages. I was looking at the wrong side. Outgoing. So our outgoing messages, send packets. And it's at 26 twice, which is get actors. And a 24. That can't be right. All right. We might have some elements out of sync here. Let's verify these on the server and the client. So this is a send packet, right? Just copy this. Oh, Rust bindings for Godot, and good morning. Welcome, Metronomic. Oh, I like that one. Yeah, those bindings, I've played around with them. I like them. They seem to work right out of the box for me. I'm not using them right now. I'm contemplating actually using them, but at the moment, there's a lot of things that you would kind of give up in order to use them. At the out of box, just sort of project export. You need to build that up again with shared libraries for all of those different platforms. So just by doing that, you're going to have a little bit more of a setup in order to start to export everything. Isn't a huge lift, it's just there. What else? I think that's there. And then I would use it as, I mean, for me, I'm comfortable with kind of the GD script stuff. I wouldn't mind redoing this in Rust side of things, but it's already there. I mean, quite frankly, this current problem I'm having with the code synchronization would go away if I was using the same code on the server and the client. Right now, I am only using Rust for server side stuff. I've played around with Rust and Godot for other little projects, like when a replacement for a Twitch chat sort of client, that sort of thing. Maybe be able to do things on the screen for the stream here, that sort of thing. I like Godot. I like this as a little engine, and I think The plugins are really nice. I can definitely see doing things that are difficult for Godot to do very easily in Rust. So use the right tool for the right job. Some of the stuff I might end up pulling into the client, like the island generation logic, it could actually become much more interesting on the client if I did that. That's one of the targets I'm thinking about. Oh, if you do C++ dev daily, just modify Godot. Unless you're, of course, you're interested in learning Rust, and by all means, the GD native stuff with it. Last time I tried it, it was before 3.2 came out, and the downloads worked out of the box for me on the GD native site. If you're not, are you familiar with it? Ah, here it is. So here they have the Rust bindings for this. They've got some documentation button down below here. The examples worked out of the box with Godot 3.1.2. They have examples, and they even have something down below, third-party resources, this gorgeous Godot games in Rust. That's also really nice. Yeah, I don't know what the bit rot's going to be for things like this, but at the moment with 3.1.2, I think it's not going to have any issues. Good question. I like that stuff. We're going to check this against the server code. This stuff probably changed. Outgoing packet kind. Just validate that these are the same. ID 0. Delete them as we go through. ID 0. Direction 1. Destination. No, I'm mapping these up to the wrong side. This is send on the client, which is incoming on the server. Yeah, and some of these I just don't have yet. 0 doesn't reach this level anymore. Oh, you hadn't seen that yet? Okay, cool. Yeah, if you have more questions, I'm all ears. I am, this not only is kind of my game programming kind of fun time for me, but I'm also learning Rust and Godot at the same time. And if you guys are learning Rust and Godot, I mean, and you have questions, let's learn together. ID 0 doesn't come up this far. Direction and destination we're not doing yet. Destination, what is, so direction is when you move your mouse cursor around the screen, it controls which direction you're facing. We're not doing that yet. Destination. How do I use the trace output? So the trace output stuff, I'm using the tracing library from Tokyo, or it's alongside Tokyo. It came out of Tokyo. I forget what its origin story is. But I mainly use it just the macros for it. It took a little bit of learning to get it set up right, but one of the neat things about this is that it can stream the logs to something else, and that something else could actually represent this in a better format. Right now I'm just using a terminal format, but I imagine that eventually I'll move it to some sort of a log capture system that would be kind of tracing aware and be able to pull these things out into their correct contexts. Because this is going to be multiple threads going at the same time. It'd be nice to be able to see those separated out. Here it is, the log. I'm not too familiar with it, but this is the, here. I think it's just called tracing here. Yeah, application level tracing for Rust. Let's see, what's it they say? Unlike a log message, a span in tracing has a beginning and an end time. Maybe entered and exited in the flow of execution. Tracing spans are structured, the ability to record typed data as well as textual messages. I find that interesting because if you have the right backend for this, it's probably a lot more powerful. Now, do they actually talk about the backends that you can use with this? I don't know. Log subscriber. And this might actually go somewhere. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if you could get execution timings out of it. I mean, it has a start and an end time. I don't know if they're actually referring to times or just kind of lifespans. Oh, inner timing metrics on top of tracing. That's pretty cool. That's neat. I'm pretty much just using the logging facilities at the moment. I hope to make it into something a bit more powerful to help with debugging once the server goes live. And thank you for the follow. I was just using logging, and Musean stopped in and suggested I look at it. So, hop back in the code. Destination. That's when you click and you say, I want to walk to this point. We're not doing that yet. Entity info. Is that? I think that's when you click on some other character in the world, we'll fetch information about it, like what level is it, etc. Create account. There. So we can't see the numbers down below. Move that a little lower. So create account, yes, 24. It's on line 82. On 20, login 25. Get actors is 26. Chat 27, not doing that yet. Or rather, not wiring it back up yet. Create actor 28 looks good. Select actor, which is called load actor on the server. Actor ready is 30 and there's zone info 31. That looks fine. Okay. All right. Actually, I should probably tee this to a log file. It's starting to get a little unwieldy. Or I just silence There's env. All right. We're not going to set everything to trace. We don't want those. TCP streams underscore next. These are all my crates. Oh, TCP streams. No, you don't exist anymore. You became stream multiplexer. TCP server next. That. Legacy, Prometheus, metrics, logger. Logger even exist anymore? No. Game types, fine. State. I don't think game types even logs anything. Alright, that should be fine. It'll help with the logging. Okay, now on the client though, why is the client, what was it? It was sending two of the, was it 24s or 26s? Let's still have the log here. 26. Once. Twice. Get actors twice. You know what's weird? This does now feel rather lacking. It used to feel a little bit more powerful than what I had set up in Vim or Rust. Now just trying to find references for this here feels rather primitive. Yeah, that's a signal. Here. So we'll set a breakpoint here and see who is calling this twice and why. Ah, I'm in the wrong window. Back to Godot. Lost the game. Okay, there it is. Let's get actors. First time. It only happened once. All right. Let's restart the server. Do this again. Is it some weird timing thing that I can't reproduce? All right, that was once. Like, it only ever did it once. Let's make sure in the output it really did. Okay, there's 26, 24. Ah, and now the assertion failed. Which is strange because now it's saying that it was still connected. True, true. Is the ID change ever? No. I'm not sure how valid this assertion is. I wonder if I should go back to 3.1.2. See if this still reproduces. This is strange. Socket, let's inspect the object. It's big endian. That's great. Is that it? remote stream peer. I find it strange that it always does it here. Actually, we don't know if it's failing up here, do we? Because I'm not checking those. Let's toss a couple of these on there. There, there. Maybe we just have some silent errors going on. Oh, it's already defined. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Rust, you spoil me. Okay. I think I want to get back into fixing the link dead stuff. That I can just do this over and over and over again. Faster iteration. Error code 1 is null. Does put use 16 actually have error? Oh, it's void. That's not fun. So that doesn't have a return type, but put data does? Data, put partial data. Blocking if necessary until the data is done sending. All right, returns generic error. Out of memory. I mean, any of these other errors would be more useful. Just getting an error ID 1 back isn't helpful at all. Okay, so those don't actually give us an error. Maybe we should use something else instead of put data. And it's just a bunch of U8s. I can just do them one after the next. Or maybe we just include it all, put data. Do that again. Put data. What else do we have? Put partial data. If the data could not be sent at once, only part of it will. This function returns 2 values, error code and an integer, describing how much data was actually sent. So we could do that. That'll give us a little bit more info. Yeah, this parity here is just strange. I put a byte into there without an error. And then we have all the getter stuff. Fine. Yeah, look at that. The only function that really gives like how much information was sent back, etc., is put partial data. I wonder if this is new in 3.2. All right, let's try using that. Put partial data. We give it the full byte array. We get an array back. Hopefully it's in this error. So error first maybe, and then integer second. Put partial data. Oh, let's undo first. Rid of those extra elements that don't return info. Error info. So this is a put partial data. Okay, and then we should at least in the debugger be able to see It is. We do like a debug assert or something. No, just do an assert. Fine. I do want to do the Rust thing and toss that on there. All right, restarting the server. Log in. Start a breakpoint. Yeah, we're getting the actors. And we didn't hit the error. 26, 24. And everything was fine. Is there something I'm doing, like timing? Maybe I'm waiting too long? All right, let's try again. This time, keep a look. It's the wrong one. Code with game. Okay, let's select fuzzy lips. Oh. Error reading auth stream packet could not parse packet. Okay. I think. This assertion doesn't seem to be catching it. Login. Did restart the server. 01. I see, so it's telling us how many bytes were written. That seems correct. So there should be 17. It's a UUID plus basically a type tag. But it's still saying that it couldn't parse the packet. Received incoming data. Incoming message ID 1. Try to get the location of an entity that doesn't exist. Okay, first off, this error is actually wrong in our code. Yeah, look. Same thing 3 times. Probably 3 different functions, and they're not all the same streams. The GM stream. This one here is a character stream. And the last one is an auth stream. Fine. So it is erroring out now. Trying to get the location of an entity that does not exist. Okay. That's what's different, because sometimes sometimes I choose different characters to load. That's a big difference. Sent out packet. Why does that entity not exist? Trying to get the location of an entity that does not exist. Alright. If we create a new character or use one of our newly created characters, it's a different. Here. Still no. Okay. Hey, Top Raj, good morning. Not gonna believe this, but I actually have Godot running against the server. We're working out some reconnection issues. So that's the default character on the screen there, Connor. Call him Connor. But yeah, we almost have islands loading. I think if we could get past this next packet, we would see the randomly generated islands. I know it's been like 2.5, 3 months. I decided to kind of rip out one of the frameworks I was using. Connor looks like he's been accused of stealing a cookie. Oh, you don't know what Connor's like, really. The everyday neighbor. Connor would never do that, says the neighbor. So the server is currently throwing an error saying, hey, we're trying to get the location of an of an entity that doesn't exist. And we're going to work backwards from this. Entity location. Oh, actually, is that legacy? Okay. Didn't actually tell us which branch it went into. Fine. Trace. That'll add a little bit more. Toss a couple more of those on there. Fine. Let's give us a little bit more info. And welcome, Raiders. If you're not familiar, I'm currently building a game that is a bit like a mix between, let's say, Sunless Seas, Don't Starve, 1 Hour, 1 Life. It's going to have that sort of 2.5 dimensional sort of projection view. Currently, I might switch it up for 3D. We'll see. if I can actually generate random 3D islands, which I think I've come up with a way to do that, but it does involve using Rust in Godot as well. I might go 3D. We'll see. I do like the 2.5D feel. It's kind of personal preference. I've worked in that genre before. I like the pixel art stuff. But I could definitely see going kind of low poly in kind of a 3D world. Cell shaded low poly. Oh, you like my Vim theme? Well, thank you. I have all of my stuff online too. So if you're interested in Vim and dot files, here are my dot files. I also have my Alacrity config there. It doesn't have the font info in it though. Using Fira code, F-I-R-A. And Alacrity doesn't do the ligatures though. So when I have something like this, I don't get the fancy sort of combined character. All right, so in this case, oh, I don't want to rename that. I'll get the references to cargo watch. Do I like Alacrity? I do. It actually works pretty well for me. Yeah, it's the one written in Rust. I do use tmux inside of it, so I can get different terminals, etc. In this one here, I strip out the information at the bottom, so you don't really see how many tmux instances there is. It's really just for the stream. On my work stuff, I still have that for tmux. Oh, thank you for the follow. Now I have to parse this out. Jova Broad AI? Jova Broad. Welcome. And thank you for the follow. And Scallywag, oh my goodness, you fit the theme here. The game is called Legacy, and you sail. And if I start the game again, when you log in, you basically choose your sea captain, your sea lord, I think I'd call them. But anyhow, thank you for fitting the theme. Okay, that's there. That's good. Okay. We want to find all references to this, and I don't think Rust Analyzer is going to do this for us. /gr, no, wrong slash. It didn't do it. Set entity location. We just want dot entity location. There we go. It's 2 places, that's not bad. Game master zone info for entity, that's 1. It's decent, yeah. I've been coding for 20 years, so I don't really miss the ligatures. But I think it would be really neato. Say that. I think it would be nice if it did work. But I can wait another decade for it. All right. So what's going on here? Which one do we think is actually getting hit? It's going to be one of those. They're going to be, let's see, what's around it? Packet 31. Get entity location. Load actor, get entity location. Okay. Oh, this is a family-friendly stream. I'd not guess what you found in Google. You found kittens. You got cats? No way. Non-terminal emulators. That's funny. So here we trace out what the packet kind is. And what was our packet kind just before that? One packet kind. Right there. Game Master packet kind. And here. Could not parse packet. Kind 3. I believe that. So we're not handling 3 yet. What is packet 3? Three is actor info. Oh. Why is the client asking for actor info? What else did they do? They did a 29, 3, then a 31. 29, load actor. Oh, I see, that resolved. They did a 3. Ah, and that's going to give them their position and stuff. Okay, so let's do... What did I used to call it? Let's look at the codec again. 3 actor info. Actor info. Let's go back to Game Master. We'll call actor info on that. Let's see, does that... Okay, this needs to be updated. GPU-based terminal emulator. Nice. I wasn't sure if I should just click on some random link from somebody on the internet, but Xenogron's been around here for a little bit. Oh, that could have gone either way. It really could have. Xanark, thank you for the follow. What's life with a little risk? Oh man. I am a bit risk averse, I have to say. which is funny because like some of my hobbies include like um, doing sand casting of aluminum and stuff like that. So I like those gingery books with the building a metalworking shop from scratch. A lot of fun. Explosions are bad, yes, which is why we only do the pours not over concrete but over sand. You have to give moisture a place to go. When you drop something that's 1600 degrees Fahrenheit on concrete, pops and steam the water right out of it. Can't unbind default key bindings. Oh, that's strange. Huh. Alright, let's update this. Let's mimic probably load actor, I'm guessing. Just gonna take this here. Save us some time. Wrong one. Actor info. We have the incoming packet. That we probably don't need the arc. Whatever, we'll figure that out in a moment. Now, what packet are they actually passing in for this? We need to deserialize it. Looks like it's just actor info. Right from the message. But if we don't need it again down below, no. Okay, so we shouldn't have to clone that. Azure drains you. Oh. Okay, this should be out of messages. Messages. YSIW right bracket. Actor info. Okay. That's going to tell us it didn't implement this. Yeah, try from is not there in actor info. Perfectly fine. So ID callback has that stuff. Now we need message error. Oh, wrong file. There we go. That's strange. Where is... Oh, interesting. We're just using transparent on this one. Yeah, nothing special there. So what are your favorite cloud providers? Amazon's always had kind of a bad taste in my mouth ever since they just got rid of one of our servers and it just went away. Turns out it was a database server and we needed it and it vanished. You call them up and like, and they had no record of this thing. Support contracts, everything. Oof. Vanished, yeah. Yeah, as in there was no record of it having ever been. It just went away. I mean, luckily we had a backup server, but it was strange that we couldn't just rebuild it. Right? It was gone. That was a while ago. That was a long while ago, so I hope everything's improved with them. Best of luck. Cloud native projects. Oh, you don't have anything to compare to. Yeah, I still like running my own servers. I actually have been interested in getting a co-location setup going. Hurricane Electric has some setups every now and then. You can get some really great HE prices. Oh, their Python APIs are borderline undocumented. Oh, oh, that's sad. That is the laughter of disappointment. All right, now actor info. This should be actor info. We got that conversion working. We should have that with an info ID. Good. Position. Position is at messages. Oh, yeah, DigitalOcean. I've heard they're pretty good. I've also been a big fan of Linode. But most of the stuff that I do is actually on just rented boxes. I just do co-location. That's unused. That should not be unused. Let's verify that they have access to this thing before they get... Oh, for actor info, do you need that? Honestly, they should only have to be in the same zone. Connection state, okay. You can deploy Rust Lambdas on AWS. But I was looking at the prices. If I ran and did some, I don't know. So think about this. Rust can typically run all of these things faster than any other language, right? If you're doing JavaScript on AWS, if you're doing whatever, unless it's native, right? Like some C++ code you could also do on Lambdas, I'd guess, if you can do Rust code. But it's going to do it faster than most things. And at that point, you wouldn't have to have a very large of a VM to run a Lambda. They would actually be very small. You could probably use the 128 megabyte Lambdas. The problem that you're going to run into is you're still paying for their bandwidth and time, and then if they have to spin these up, I think geographically they'll spin them up if something else, like if they need to. While it might create a really good experience, I think you could still, for if you were doing hundreds of requests a second, you would still end up in the $1,000+ a month to run the service, where you could probably just run that on one of their $20 boxes, VMs, without issue. Yeah. So depending on what your Lambda is doing, you could, like 100 requests per second in Rust should be very doable. Very doable. I mean, like, heck, 100 requests, 600 requests per second. I could sustain that for months using, what do we do that? Erlang on Linode on $20 box. And basically powered a business on a pair of Linode $20 boxes. Core functionality. Because Erlang worked. It was awesome. And the only reason we had two was for redundancy. We're doing 600 requests per second. We could easily, that was at like 10 to 15% load on those boxes. That's amazing. All right, so this all looks like it's okay. Load the data, you should be able to get the actor info or any other character. The problem is we should probably say, should we fix me? Are there limits? Zame zone, that's an S. There we go. I'm gonna leave that. Yeah, cold boot startup times. Yeah, it's fine as long as you always have it hot, you know? And you can do that. You can set up some sort of ping service to like hit your server all the time. Oh, I see. Oh, wow. Well, that was an easy one to add. I'm surprised. I am sincerely surprised on that. Okay, let's run it again. Let it compile. Oh, silly me, I've left the game screen on. It'll be useful. All right, there we go. That's not too bad. I'm using that other linker now. It's much faster. Okay, so we have that. We'll do a login. Choose somebody new. Actually, let's create a new one. See who wants to be next. Oh, you know what? What's interesting here is that I'm not limiting these. You can have the same one over and over and over again. Okay, that worked. Select them. Trying to get the location of an entity that did not exist. So we have 3. So we got actor info. So they should have been loaded at that point. Why are they not loaded? ECS should have had them already. Oh, shoot. That's air quotes, should have had them. Ooh. Hold on. I'll bet what fixes this is actually turning the tick up. Right now, I think it's at 20 seconds. Yeah, because this read here, ECS isn't actually committing the entity information because I'm doing it in a lazy way. Read resource, okay. See, this isn't mutable. Lazy update. Ah, okay, I can't do this in a lazy way because I might need it immediately. Well, that's interesting. How do I do this in a not so lazy way? Delete. Create entity with yada yada. Here we're actually creating an entity. Okay, what else? There's some of our, there's a tick. This is where it would actually go through and commit stuff at the end of the tick. Date world time. Add destination, okay. This is also a lazy update. Oh my goodness. Add destination's okay, that's when you click. But setting the entity's location probably has to happen right away. So we have the entity. We're going to want to write resource, aren't we? Self.world. I see, so we're doing an insert. We're inserting a component into the world. So really we want to do something more like this. Self.world.insert. We'll give it a delta time. Now this one here is a resource. That might not work for that. Yeah, this one here is for resource. Insert resource into the container. It's fine. We don't want the entities. The entity, no. We want to write resource, I think. Do they have anything else? If exec, setup entry, okay, yada yada. Or can we do this on entity? I don't think we can do that on entity. Oh, you know what? We do this in the pathfinding. Where is that? That's Trailblazer. System Trailblaze. I see. So we have to get a write resource to the location F stuff, and then we can insert it. Got it. Write resource. And for this, we want to get the component location F stuff. So we get the location F resource. Now, we'll insert for this entity one of these. And then try to appease Clippy. Oh, it's not there. All right, let's go back. Pathfinder. So this write storage here, this is the third entry. When we actually run this and we decompose system data, that will be locations here. That locations, that's right, we're just reading that really. We have a location, a path, 2 paths. System destination. Entities processed push. That's for removing those elements. But what is new paths? Oh my goodness, it's been so long since I've seen this code. Yeah, that's just a write storage. Oh, and then later, we actually commit that. Name state at the bottom. Write storage, movement, clear it. We clear all the movement. We do that. All right, go back. It doesn't seem to be there. This takes a new path. Destination is what the player actually clicked on. Yeah. In Trailblaze, Here we update their point in space on every tick. But here we're actually mutating something in the system. We record the movement. If I see movements, insert entity, and then the movement. It looks like it should still exist there. That looks like it should just be a write storage. I am guessing that it's still wrong. That asking for the right resource at the WRITE. There we go. Here we're looking for entity IDs when we create an entity. And then we insert it using that. Where is ID? So we create one of those with a component, etc. Remove entity. Yes. Set. Create. Okay. We're going to the docs. That's for a system. Create entity with that and that. Yes. And if I want to add something later, what do I do? I have world. We want world ext. Oh, write component. Did I say write resource? I think it should probably be more of a component. If we do the write component, then we get a write storage to a component. Click on write storage. Yeah, trade implementations, generic read and generic write. What does that provide? Insert with the entity and the component. Okay. So I changed that already. There. It's not declared as mutable. Unused result. Oh, fantastic. Okay, great. What does insert do? Gives us an insert result. And an insert result will return the previous one if it already existed. Otherwise, a specs error. All right. Just take the insert result, bubble that out. Actually, that might not work. Do we have a game state error? Game state error. Ah, we do. And it just says internal error. Not feeling very creative right there. All right. Error. Clean that up. From this other error. Is that is generic over T? We could make this specific here and say that this is a set error. And what is T in this case? T is component that we're trying to insert. Location F. Rename this to location. All right, where is location F? That is under component. Location F. Oh, does location F not have debug? It does. It does have debug. And their insert result, is that debug? It's not debug. Holy cow. That's not cool. Guess we could make it debug. We could send a PR. Actually, let's check. Am I behind? They're at 0.16.1. Okay, and I have it pinned one back. Let's check their online docs. Didn't they have an insert error? Oh, it's an insert result. Yeah, still no. Well, we could actually implement it right here, I think. Impl, because of the generic. Generic is our type, but the trait is foreign, the type is foreign, but because the generic is ours, we can actually do this. Impl debug 4 to be verbose. Best analyzer gonna help me out? Standard format debug. Something for the little syntax thing, so I could have it auto-populate the body of this. Taking its sweet time. No? Fine. Debug struct. This is going to be... Actually, this is an enum, isn't it? I think they have debug on there. Insert result. That should just make it work. Now we can add little bits to this to make it better. Selecting implementations of trait debug for result option location F. Oh, I see. It's just a type alias. Okay. All right, well, what is the type that we need to do? Technically, we want the error. That's a specs error. All right, I got that all wrong. Specs error. Don't need that. Good. Just say this is an ECS error instead. All right. Insert result. Should be able to bail out now. Major left. Oh, we see browser. Oh no. No, 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 no. Interesting strategy to get lurkers to talk. That's right. Yeah, if I leave you on the other screen watching My Little Pony for too long, that's too bad. It was a plan all along. Well, welcome to the stream, Major Lift. Eventually, I'll get around to actually associating like Twitch inventory with like in-game inventory. I can actually like grant things like, oh hey, here you get a shiny pebble, sort of thing, and have it show up in game. I think that'd be really cool. Oh, insert results not in the scope. That's because it is elsewhere. And technically, we don't want that. We want game state error. Oh, no, this is a result. What is our return type? Result of success and then just error, isn't it? Why do I have to return that, wrap that in an okay? Oh, this one down here I get. Do that, trace that. We will return game state error. What should we say? Invalid entity? We can give it an entity ID. We'll return that. Come on, formatter, do your stuff. All right, fine. I'll do the formatting. Oh, I have a comma there. That should be a semicolon. Oh, I see. I have to map the error. Map the result here. So in this case, yeah, we'll just fail if we get an error. Otherwise, okay. That's easier than a combinator on that. Valid entity doesn't exist yet. What is this? This is a type ID. I'll have to pull in from types. Oh, I'm gonna let her out. Be right back. 1 minute. Okay, and we're back. I know, she's so demanding. Okay. Now, oh, there we go. That's better. Must have hit something on the way up. Now, this is actually saying I'm dropping some frames. I'm gonna do a quick network check. Here's a conundrum. Do I turn off the internet on my wife's devices? Just suffer the network. The frame drops. Got some bad news, guys. I'm going to be around her a lot longer than I'm going to be around you guys, so we'll just suffer the frame loss the occasional frame loss. And actually, I can't tell if she's uploading or downloading. Oh, it's probably one of the kids on her iPad. Anyhow. Okay, so we have that. We changed set entity location, so it happens right away. Otherwise, ECS would have had to come through and commit the lazy changes. Let's see if that helped. Oh, that's right. We did a crate update, so it's going to take a minute. Ooh. Look at all this. Nom? Hmm. Yeah, the frame rate seems to have stabilized, which is good. Also, sometimes when I do some compiling, sometimes the CPU can just get really bogged down. So if we go to a new window, we could watch it. And it's got some breathing room. Down to one left. Also partly why I don't update my crates all that often. But I was hoping that specs would have been updated. Problem was that I was looking at the wrong type. Ah, there we go. Beautiful. All right, let's fire up the game client. I'll restart it. It was in a bad state. Okay. There we go. Check if we can create another one. Captain. Laywag. There you are. It should automatically select it, I think. Yeah, we have the tick going. Good. Okay. At least we didn't get that strange error anymore. We did get packet 31. It looks like Godot. True. Okay, things seem to be going okay with that at the moment. What was the last one we wrote? 24? See if that matches up with the other one. Oh, what is he? I thought we were looking at basically the same setup. So here we have the packets. I think these are incoming packets. It must be. And why does Godot... See, I thought this was also logging... Oh, these are types of... Oh, no, the type information here is incoming. Okay, I should really change that. Or was that? Was that an uplink or protocol? Protocol, probably. Oh, let's check here. Match case, whole words, sure, find it. There it is. Is this incoming? Yes. Incoming type. There, now I won't get confused. Good, good, good. Okay. So then we got a packet 31. Let's check on that. master lib. Oh, actually, it's in messages. Lib 31. The outgoing stuff, incoming zone info. Let's see what it does for zone info. This must be it. Guess we're awaiting that. Actually, why are we doing that? We should just be able to do this. I think all of these are returning the same type. And this should respond with the zone information. All right. Is the client receiving that? Output. Oh, it's got a link again. All right, there we go. Start the client. Now we're going to log in as Scallywag. Incoming, type 0. Interesting. Type 24, and then 0. Oh, the subject changed. Is it not parsing the packets correctly? Oh, because the server is sending it as one shot. Oh my goodness. Let's do this again. Packet 2, 26. Incoming 0 is actually, it changes the subject of the stream. So we don't change the subject of the stream that often, but when we do, we send the UUID of what the next packets actually refer to. Sorry, I forgot to restart the server. Got that reconnect error. Right. Yeah. Scallywag. Type 0, pool byte array. It should be parsing one more packet after that. That's why. Because this packet right here is not. All right, okay, so if type is equal to 0, and we'll tab that in. I'm going to set a breakpoint right there. Restart everything. I got to fix that link dead thing. That's a pain in the butt. Scallywag. There we go. Packet 16. Oh, interesting. So it did just have the UUID here. Problem is that it didn't finish decoding everything. Yeah, I'm going to set a breakpoint in here. Applying. Loop true. We're going to step over that. Loop false. What's the next one? Empty. Interesting. Okay, so there's a decoder bug somewhere. I've got a bug in the codec. Ooh, fancy. So to explain what's happened, we'll just do the info here. So we get a packet of type 0 and then some UUID, right? And the UUID has 16 elements. So 0, what is that? That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, whatever. So it's going to have something like that. However, it will be followed by whatever the next packet is. And this next packet is likely the zone info packet. It's going to have some other value like 31 or whatever that is, followed by a bit of data here. Problem is that decoder is seeing this, or rather it's getting this whole thing. It doesn't come back around to pull out the rest of the data. Either that or it's consumed all the data and thrown this half away. Interesting. Okay. I think that's what's going on. Now Godot does have a neat little setup for doing unit testing. Where is it? Login disconnected. Test. If I load this here, then I can play this scene. And this here, see if it'll come on screen. There we go. It actually runs the unit tests. I have a bunch of little tests here for the CBOR stuff. Wondering if it'd be, all right, Carter, enjoy your lunch, man. Wonder if it'd be beneficial to also have some tests for the codec. While the codec isn't tested, the things that the codec uses are tested. Oh, this is so neat. Set up better logging and let back down. Encode, decode. That's so neat. All right, so maybe we should look at that. And then here we have CBOR test or encode and decode. I wonder, does codec have, where is codec? Codec, where are you? Do I not have codec open? Message pack codec, I think is what it is. We need to provide a stream. The bytes available. Oh, this can't be the right one. Message pack codec, no, we want the CBOR codec. Oh, is that codec that we were looking at earlier just the CBOR one? We could just add more CBOR tests. Codec here. Okay, where does it come from? Stream pure. Codec is CBOR codec. Ah, okay. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. So I've got something wrong in here in that if I have a packet large enough, it's unhappy. Let's add some more CBOR tests. Call system, test, CBOR decode. Before each clear, okay. Stream pure buffer, neat. We want to call decode twice. Test negative, set data, test long string. There we go. Func test 2 elements. Test 2 decodes. Time to evade Monkus. Time to evade. Have a nice. Hey, you have a good day too. Have a good evening. Don't remember where you are in the world. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I hope to see you again. How about 2 of those? We'll just say we want 2 short UTF-8 strings. Toss it in there twice. Actual 1, 1, 2, and 2. Ah, look at that. Okay, so we got a unit test that kind of captures that. That's cool. That is really cool. Oh, I missed my Vim bindings. Oh, you're from Italy. Mailing on for pasta and pizza. CL. See you, Zenocron. And pizza came from New York. We all know that. It's in the history books in the States. I'm kidding, of course, but actually I like the European, the Italian style pizzas better. Like that flavorful bread. And then the sauce that goes all the way out to the edge. And the sauce isn't like hidden. It's like a shining star of a pizza in Italy. Love that. All right. Goodness, now I'm getting hungry. Okay. Oh, look, and we have little test reports down here too. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, well, we can use that. So decode is doing something the first time, but not good the second time. Let's see, where's the window? Can I tell it what I want it to test? Oh, I can just do one file or the other. So I could go into here, the breakpoint. I think it's still running, so if I hit run again, oh, that was the encode one. Decode. Cool. That debuggable unit tests. If we step into decode, A little bit more space on the screen. Bump that away. Okay. Step over. We're going to decode this. Message size 1. Header bytes available. Okay. What is message size here? It's 10. Why is it 10? Oh, that's okay. Let's. Okay, this is good. We assert that the message size is less than the buffer size. Now that message size there, that get U16. I'm surprised that it says it's 10, but I guess this is the value for the IETF stuff. Still seems like it's too big, doesn't it? It shouldn't be like that. So if we go back, this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10. Why is that 10? That should not have been 10. This get 16 should have returned. Hold on. No, our set data call is actually doing some magic for us. We don't want to do that. Actually, I'm going to do this twice. Okay. And that's basically this value here. But our bar array is going to be equal to this. And we'll do that twice. Actually, it looks like, oh yeah, it would, if we called that function twice, it would just destroy it. Yeah. Push front, F7, length. Oh yeah, here we're doing the CBOR stuff. Yeah, so we need to do that basically twice. Length we can use again. We don't have to recalculate. It's the same value. Okay, that's fine. Let's try that again. Restart. Move our breakpoint down to there. And data, wait, look at data. Where's data? Down there, good. And we can see it on the little itty bitty thing on the right. Got 11 things in it. We have 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I shouldn't have 11. So here, push front, F7, length. Oh, I see. We do have a 2-byte header. But what is with the F7 bit? Oh, it's because it's an array of characters, array of elements. Yeah. Okay. We did push it twice. This should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Times 2 is 10. It should have, what, 14? Should be much larger than that. Oh, except we're doing push front. Yeah, that should work. Ah, shoot, I got like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Well, actually, should probably wind down. I gotta get ready for the whole day job thing. This was a lot of fun. I think we made some pretty good progress today, and we found a good bug. We'll get some unit tests for that, and that all paired away. We're gonna do a raid on someone. Who shall we raid? Let's raid Zeratar. Go in that direction. This one's a good one. Good. We got a lot of maintenance things cleaned up. This one here is kind of foundational. I'm putting my boots on. So it's good. And thank you for hanging out. I like the company. I really, really appreciate it. I don't think I'd be able to get this far without without your company. So, all right, y'all. Until next time. Bye bye.